What did your child do that almost got them arrested but made you secretly proud? My 8-year-old daughter Lily got arrested for assault at her elementary school. The police officer's voice was deadly serious when he called me at 2 p.m. Ma'am, we need you at Riverside Elementary immediately. Your daughter has been detained for physically attacking another student. The victim required medical attention. I left my job at the bank and sped to the school, my hands trembling on the steering wheel. Lily was the sweetest kid who cried when she accidentally stepped on ants. As a divorced mom barely making ends meet, the thought of my baby girl hurting someone made me physically sick. When I arrived, I found Lily sitting in the principal's office with a police officer standing guard. Her pink dress was torn at the shoulder, her knuckles were scraped and bleeding, and there was a bruise forming on her cheek. But her green eyes were blazing with fury, not tears. "Lily, sweetheart, what happened?" I asked, rushing to her side. "I'm not sorry, Mommy. I'd do it again." Principal Davis emerged with a paramedic report and photos on his tablet. "Mrs. Thompson, Lily attacked Brandon Mitchell during recess. She gave him a black eye, split his lip, and knocked out one of his teeth. This is completely unacceptable violence." The photo showed Brandon's swollen face and fat mouth. My stomach dropped. Other parents started arriving to collect their children who had witnessed the incident. I recognized the Mitchells. Brandon's father was a city councilman who owned 3 car dealerships. The Hendersons, whose daughter was class president. The kind of parents who could destroy my reputation with a single phone call. "Lily, I need you to explain what Brandon did to make you so angry," I said, kneeling beside her chair. She looked up at me with those fierce eyes that suddenly reminded me of my own mother. "Mommy, you know how Sophie Chen is in my class." I nodded. Sophie was the quiet girl whose dad had died in a car accident last year. Brandon found out that Sophie's mom works 3 jobs and they live in that tiny apartment behind the gas station. Principal Davis looked uncomfortable. Children sometimes share personal information inappropriately. Brandon started calling Sophie trailer trash and charity case in front of everyone. Lily's voice was getting stronger, angrier. Yesterday, he brought his dad's old iPhone to school and took pictures of Sophie's worn-out shoes and backpack. He was going to post them online and tag everyone in our class. I felt my blood pressure rising. "What did you do, baby?" I told him to stop. I told him Sophie's dad died protecting people as a firefighter and her mom works harder than anyone. Lily's hands clenched into fists. But Brandon laughed and said poor people deserve to be embarrassed. He said his dad told him that some families are just better than others. The room was dead silent now. Principal Davis was staring at his hands. "Then what happened?" Brandon shoved Sophie down and took a picture of her crying on the ground. He said he was going to make a meme out of it. Lily looked directly at the police officer. So I tackled him and smashed his phone. Then I punched him until he promised to delete everything from his cloud. Mrs. Mitchell burst through the door at that moment. "Where is that little animal who attacked my son? We're pressing charges." Lily stood up, all 4 feet of her, and faced the woman. "Your son is a bully who makes fun of kids whose dads are dead." The police officer cleared his throat. "Ma'am, we've reviewed the phone. There were indeed photos of the other child in distressing situations, along with some very inappropriate messages." Mrs. Mitchell's face went white. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Sophie's mom. She said Sophie told her that Lily was the first person who ever stood up for her. Brandon transferred schools. The anti-bullying policy was completely rewritten. Lily never got charged.